Health.org and welcome to another video. I want to talk a little bit about scars and scar treatment today because I've been trialing using Manuka oil over the last few days to treat a really nasty scar I had a long time ago, maybe 2 months ago. I had a really horribly nasty spot from detoxing, and as soon as it went away, another spot appeared in the same place, and then finally, as soon as the scar started to fade, a huge spot turned up in that same area. So I think there was a lot of nasty bacteria in that particular location, and it was just spot after spot after spot in that exact same position, which was horrible and nasty, and it meant that it left me with a really dark pigmentation scar. My skin is very pale, so my pigmentation scars are pinkish red. It really depends on your skin color, your skin tone. So it could be anything from a pink, a purple, a red to even a brown or sometimes a black, depending on the color of your skin. So mine was pinkish, verging on red, and it was really, really awful. And it's still there a bit, but I've found some amazing results over the last few days with rubbing some Manuka oil in. Now, Manuka honey we're really, really familiar with, and that's a product of the bees pollinating the flowers from the Manuka tree. Now, the Manuka tree is a really, really special tree that comes from New Zealand and has amazing healing properties, kind of like the tea tree in Australia, a very similar thing. So you can actually get the essential oil, and what I do is I just get 1 drop of the essential oil, because that's all you need, just 1 drop. It's so powerful. And I rub it, I massage it onto the pigmentation scar. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this helped heal the raised lumps and then the depressed acne scars as well, because it is really powerful. Manuka is one of those amazing things from nature that we are so blessed to have on this planet, and we're so blessed that we actually know about and we can access it. And I bought this teeny tiny bottle of organic Manuka oil. It's going to take me a long time to get through because you really do use only 1 tiny drop each time you actually need it. And the massaging process, the process of massaging, is also stimulating new cell growth in that area. So the massaging is helping, but also just the healing powers of the Manuka oil itself are also working wonders. And I noticed so clearly because there was a day that I actually forgot to use it, and I'd been noticing such significant improvement in this pigmentation scar every day, and the day that I forgot to use it, it just looked the same that it had the day before. So it really showed me how powerful and how amazing this Manuka oil actually is. So that's one great tip, and I highly recommend, if you can get your hands on some Manuka oil, that you actually give it a go. When going for essential oils, it's really wonderful if you can look for organic. They are going to cost you a lot more, but if you've ever used essential oils before, you'll know that you'll buy 1 bottle and it'll last such a long time. So it's so much better getting the organic. When they make the actual essential oils, and I will link to an article underneath this video so you can understand how they make the essential oils. If there's a lot of chemical residues, a lot of pesticides, herbicides, whatever else, then you're likely to end up with having some of that chemical residue in the oil. So when you're using it for healing on your skin, massaging it in, whatever you're using, maybe you're using the oil as a steam for a facial steam, then you are actually getting some of those pesticides and herbicides and the chemical residue into your skin and therefore into your body as well. So it's much better if we go for organic, and choosing organic products is also going to help the environment in a really big way too. So choose organic if you can. Another tip I wanted to tell you guys, and this is something I was thinking this morning, if I were to have a really bad acne scarring, if I were to have maybe a lot of pigmentation, or if I were to have a lot of depressed, which is the indents in the skin, or the raised lumps for scarring, what would I do? And I don't think you need to go down the cosmetic treatment path first. I don't think that's necessary. I think there's lots and lots of really beautiful natural things that you can try first and see if they work, because often they will, depending on the severity of your acne scarring. Now, the first things that I would do, and this is the number 1 thing that I would actually do, and I've written it down just in case I've forgotten here. That's right. This is a really wonderful thing, Almost Gold. I would get my hands on some Almost Gold. Now, I've been experimenting with Almost over the past 2 or 3 months. There's a wonderful supplier local to me here at the Sunshine Coast. There's another one at the Gold Coast, and I've actually been taking it internally, so I've been drinking it, and I've found it to be absolutely amazing. I ran out about 2 weeks ago and I've noticed a significant difference, and just in my health and well-being and my vitality, and even able to manifest, and the clarity of my mind and my dreams. It's just all so different. It adds another beautiful dimension taking Ormus. But another way you can use Ormus Gold is topically on the skin. And Ormus does come in very different forms. The one that I was getting, it comes in a huge big bottle. It's very diluted. It tastes a lot like very salty water, because it does come from actual salt water, and they do an alchemic reaction in it and it forms white gold. But other Ormuses come in teeny tiny bottles, and these are the ones that I'd really recommend you experiment with, the ones that come in teeny tiny bottles. And you can definitely get one from Sun Food, so look for Ormus Gold at Sun Food Nutrition, and I would use that, just a few drops on my face each day over the scar area as a treatment for the scars, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if that made a huge difference. I've heard some absolutely amazing stories about Ormus Gold used topically on the skin, just a few drops at a time. Absolutely amazing story. So that's probably the first thing I would do. Then, and at the same time, I would use MSM both topically and internally. MSM is fantastic. It is just a beautiful, beautiful product. Again, I'm going to link to some articles because I've done, I think, at least one video, maybe even two, about MSM, which I'll link underneath this video on my blog. MSM, you can actually mix it in with your moisturizer to make a paste, and then you can use it depending on the strength of it. If you want to have it really strong and just use it as some kind of mask, you can put quite a bit of MSM and just leave it on for, say, 20 minutes and wash it off. But I'd be more inclined to put a little bit less in. So just mix it in with your moisturizer, so you can still use it as a moisturizer and just leave it on all day. Then you're adding in MSM, and that MSM is going to be targeted straight on those scars, and it's going to work its magic. Some of it will soak into the skin and into the body, and others will work really locally and straight on those actual pigmentation or more permanent acne scarring, like the depressed or raised bumps that we talked about before. As well, I would take MSM internally, and you need to be really, really careful with MSM. I'm the personality type that I think I'm really tough, and I think, I don't need to ease into anything, I can just take loads of it and I'll be fine. I've got myself in lots of trouble doing that in the past. With MSM taking it internally, you really need to start very slowly. Start even with just 1/4 of a teaspoon to begin with. Maybe you can get away with doing that twice a day, maybe not. Just listen to your body. You'll know if it's having a bad reaction in your system, because you might find that you're going to the toilet a lot. It might actually give you soft stools or diarrhea if it's too harsh for you, because it can actually detox you internally. I was taking way too much, a ridiculous amount, and it threw me through a little bit of a detox. So I was getting the really bad digestive problems, and I was also getting breakouts from the detoxification process, because it's really getting right into your tissue and right into your cells and detoxing a lot of the stuff out, including calcium and a whole range of other things as well. It's a beautiful thing, MSM, to get into. I highly recommend it, but using it topically and internally together is going to help your acne scars unbelievably. It will really make a massive, massive difference. So, as I said before, I was thinking this morning, if I were to have really bad scarring, they're the things I would do. I would get my hands on some Ormus Gold, and I would get my hands on some MSM. I'd use it topically and I'd use it internally. If I could fit it into my regime, I would also use Manuka oil or some other essential oil that's good for scarring. I have a list of oils that are great for scarring in my ebook, How to Clear Acne Scars. You can use any of those oils, and I would use it and I'd rub it on the actual scarring in my routine. I usually do that right at the end, so after I've cleansed and moisturized. There is definitely hope for all of us that have acne scarring. If you've got pigmentation scarring, it's likely that it would just disappear with time, so it's just waiting and persisting, but these things you can do definitely to speed up the healing process. If you want loads more tips, I do have a e-guide. I like to call it an e-guide because that's what it is. It's a guide of a whole lot of different things that you can do to help your scars go away a lot faster. I've got a massive range of natural treatments and cosmetic treatments. I've got both because I felt like you really need to know all the different options out there. It's great to start with the natural treatments and give it a good 3 to 6 months. If it's not working, then you can have a look at the cosmetic treatments and give them a go too. So you can get that e-guide at howtoclearacnescars.com, or click on the link that's in YouTube underneath this video or in my blog underneath this video as well. If you've got any questions, please write a comment in the YouTube box below or in my blog. I will answer them in my blog comments box, though probably not in YouTube because I never seem to get into YouTube. It's just the way it is. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you probably in the next video.